Hello everyone, welcome to another video for the One Piece trading card game. In this video, we will have our deck update for Eustace Kid. This deck is going to be Hybrid Kid. I know I said I didn't want to show a Hybrid Kid list without set 2 cards, which is why there will be set 2 cards in this deck. I know this is the set 1 deck updates, but there wasn't really a green deck I could show. I guess I could have shown Wano Law, but that deck I really don't like playing, and Luffy is not the best red-green leader. So that really just brought it down to mono green, which Odin is almost the same deck as the initial Odin review, just with a few swaps. And really, I didn't want to show another Supernova Kid list, so I decided that we're just going to do this set 2 list. And with that said, let's get started. This deck includes 4 starter deck Joribani, 4 set 1 Momonosuke, 4 set 1 Killer, 4 starter deck Appu, 4 set 1 Raizo, 4 set 1 Izu, 3 set 1 Okiku, 2 starter deck Killer, 3 set 2 Yamato, 4 set 1 Law, 2 set 1 X-Drake, 4 set 1 Eustace Captain Kid, 3 set 2 Kazuki Odin, 3 Paradise Waterfall, and 2 Punk Gibson. You can't really play Hybrid Kid without 2 of the Wano Country cards in set 2. These cards are Yamato and Kazuki Odin. I've talked about Odin a lot before in the reviews of the set 2 leaders, but Odin is just such a good card. He has a similar effect to your leader to where he can unrest himself for 3 resources, which allows him to be a super strong threat, threatening your opponent's characters and your opponent's life. As well as when they do deal with him, you can tutor up any of your 3-cost or less Wano Country characters, which this deck has a nice suite of in Raizo for card draw, Izu for a rest effect, or Okiku for another aggressive threat. The other Wano Country card in this deck is Yamato. Yamato is a 4-cost 6k, which is very good when you consider that 6k is generally the stat of 5-cost cards. Yamato has the effect of, on play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. This is an extremely good effect since green has a hard time dealing with cards that cost more than 4, since a lot of their rest effects really only target things that cost 4 or less unless you want to play something a lot more expensive. But Yamato being a 4-cost allows it to be played really early, having a really good body early or late to deal with a bigger threat that might be blocking your path or something that you want to get rid of. Other than those, we have our usual suspects. We have 8 searchers in this deck. Since we're on Wano Country and Supernova cards, we can play Momonosuke and Joribani. We have some really good early blockers in Killer and Law. Law is especially good since we're on Odin, we're playing a lot of 3-cost cards anyway, and Supernovas generally have a lot of good ones as well, such as the Killer, both of them, both Killers. The other Killer, being the starter deck one, is a smaller removal spell that can hit things in our aggressive matchups like red, where X-Drake's a little better into our blue or purple matchups. And we have Appu as an extra 2k alongside the Wano Country 3-drops I've already talked about, Raizo, Izu, and Okiku. Wrapping it up with our events and other late game cards. Eustace Captain Kid is a obvious include, still one of the best cards in the game, gives you so much protection, and in a deck like this where we're playing mostly 3-drops, Kid is a great include. Our events are 3 Paradise Waterfall and 2 Punk Gibson. This is because since we're on more Kids than we are Odins, we can play a Paradise Waterfall on a 10 Don turn when we play Kid, but we can't play Punk Gibson, and we can play Punk Gibson on turns that we play Odin. This is because on turns that we Kid, we're going to be using his effect and putting a Don on him, so we'll only have 1 Don extra, which is great because Paradise Waterfall is a great thing to save Kid in case he gets swung at by something strong. And Punk Gibson is a 2-cost card that we can play nicely with the Kazuki Odin, allowing us for some extra protection when there isn't really anything we need to protect with the Paradise Waterfall when we play the Odin, since next turn we're going to be swinging at so many things with Odin that we just want the protection for ourselves, which Punk Gibson is great at. The reason we're on 1 more Kid than we are Odin is because personally I like Kid a little more. Odin being a big finisher is good and all, but Kid can help you get to those late game situations, and turns that you play Kid can just stop your opponent for a whole turn. Even in situations where you're just playing a Kid 1 turn after another, it's still buying you extra time to see more cards and giving you ways to get out of a sticky situation that you're theoretically in if they're killing your Kid every turn. Thank you all for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Looking at all of the Set 3 spoilers makes me so excited to start the leaders reviews for Set 3. I have some interesting ideas I want to test, and they look so fun. We should be starting with the mono yellow starter deck, Charlotte Linlin leader, which I think is a very good start to our Set 3 reviews on seeing just how good yellow is, since looking at it, yellow seems really strong from the initial glance. But with that said, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a good day. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.